Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is quotes 175. The quote today is from Edward G. Griffin. He is a famous author. And this quote was in regard, they were talking about a lot of things that could be cured naturally from natural things, where usually the big drug companies, big pharma, they want their drugs to be the thing that cures people. So let's cover his quote first. Anything that comes from nature cannot be patented. All right. So if it's something natural that's out there in nature, there is this law. There's the international law that you can't patent something from nature. Like nobody can patent the air, or nobody could patent, just the water or something like that. If it's from nature, it cannot be patented. So it's a natural plant. You just can't patent the plant itself. The drug companies would have to add something to it or somehow change it in order to be able to patent it. So let's continue. They are not interested in that. So he's saying that big drug companies are not interested in finding any cures directly from nature. We translate that into the real world of FDA approval, Food and Drug Administration approval. Surely these drug companies are not going to spend $20 million or more testing any substance from nature because it cannot be patented. Yeah, so for the big drug companies, the big pharma drug companies, it's kind of a lose-lose situation. If they were actually to test something from nature and they found that it was successful, it would be of no use to them because they can't patent it. They can't make any money from it. And even worse, it would be in competition with some drugs maybe they did patent. It would actually harm their business. So they will never do this. So if there's a lot of people claim that they're being cured from something that's in nature, drug companies will stay away from it. I've heard some people actually say that if you want to make an enemy of the drug companies or the FDA, basically find a cure for an incurable disease, and of course find a cheap cure, then you will become their enemy because they want to have some sort of medicine or drug so that they could sell it to you, so that they can treat you with it. If you get cured from something that's cheap, well, they have no business. So let's continue here. The FDA says it cannot be used unless it has been tested for efficacy and safety. Well, efficacy is the idea of like testing the drug to make sure it truly works. So now remember, big pharma and the FDA, they were all kind of formed together. They all kind of work together. So the FDA says, doctors and hospitals, they're not allowed to use anything unless it's been proven and tested. But the big drug companies won't test something from nature because they can't make any money from it. So let's continue. So the FDA says it cannot be used unless it has been tested for efficacy and safety. Now you see the catch-22. Remember, if we say something is catch-22, things can't work in both situations because you need one thing to get another thing, and you can't get that first thing without getting another thing. I think we often use this in the example, like sometimes when somebody advertises for somebody to get a job and they say they want experience. But if it's a new person out there, maybe they just graduated from school, they don't have experience yet. So basically it's a catch-22 for them. They can't get a job unless they get experience, but they can't get experience unless they get a job. So that's what they mean by catch-22. So in the same sense with drug companies and anything from nature that can cure something, it's a catch-22. It can't be proven safe unless it will be tested, but they won't test it because they can't make any money from it, so it will never be proven to be safe. So it ends up being a catch-22 situation. All right, let's continue. You are in there, so you're in this catch-22. Nothing from nature, regardless of how effective it might be. So even though many people or somebody says that it's worked, and they've been cured from it, the big drug companies, they can't make any money. And actually, chances are they might lose money or lose opportunities. It's actually competition for them. So they'll never test it. As we say, how effective it might be will ever be proven safe or effective by the FDA. And the FDA is working with them. Basically, the FDA says, well, they never proved it was safe and efficacy, so we don't allow it to be used. But again, the drug companies won't dare to test it because, again, it's not profitable. Everything from the FDA will be labeled unproven. So that's another thing. So a lot of times, even if somebody heard of a cure that was natural, and they may ask their doctor, or they may ask the hospital, what about this? What about this treatment? And of course, the answer will be, well, that's been unproven. Well, it's been unproven because they don't dare to test it, because they don't want the answer to prove that something from nature that's very cheap could actually cure some serious illness or disease. Okay, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. I hope it's informative. Anyway, this is a quote from Edward G. Griffin. This is what he was saying, and he's done a lot of research in this particular area. Anyway, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.